Okay. Welcome to Overwatch, and welcome to Coaching the Many Sombra. You were joined here by Twitch chat, of course, this is stream live. Oh god, missed £10.
Button do?
Thank you, missed instantly, interrupting the intro, ruining everything, no doubt. Okay, let's talk about Sombra. Let's talk about like what our goals are with Sombra. Let's talk about this game in particular. Also, we've got follower alerts. I still love that follower alerts so much. Is a Sombra playing solo queue for sec? He's actually in a duo queue. The game itself is at 2.8k. This man himself is in Diamond. He said he was about 3k rating, and is in his email. He sent a nice long email, basically saying, I'm looking to improve my gameplay as Sombra. He really likes playing Sombra. He likes the Sombra playstyle. He likes like enabling his team to do things. He likes, I think he says it very well. The backline disruptor, allowing my team to effectively wipe the enemy team and putting my teammates in the spotlight. And that's kind of the mentality you have to have when you're playing Sombra right now. This guy does it super, super well. Is it... Oh, that's just mean. Actually, just watch how this guy plays. This is why I picked this one. It's not so much like coaching him, it's highlighting what he's doing well and then spotting a few areas where I think he could improve and a couple of like little optimizations that I sort of caught when watching this. So we're going to get rid of Twitch chat and we're going to hit play on this video. Bye, Twitch chat. Let's go. And you'll notice we have a semi-standard team lineup. Just the big difference is like we have two supports. Does he show the team lineup at any point here? Remember coming out of spawn maybe? People usually press tab. Nope. We know they have a Mei, so that's a nice spoiler for us. Okay, so his team lineup is as follows. Okay, they've got Anna, Lucio, supports, Soldier, Sombra, DPS-ish, and you've got the Reinhardt and the Roadhog for tanks, okay? Our job as Sombra isn't to actually assassinate things, it isn't to kill things in the backline, it isn't actually to do too much actual meaningful damage. Our job as Sombra, especially on a point like this, when you're trying to capture a point, is to try and disrupt occupied territory, build EMP, and this is the crux of how we're going to be playing. Build EMP as fast as you humanly can. Notice that what this guy's going to do is he's going to do something that emphasizes Sombra's strength, okay? Like, let's think about... Actually, let's let this play out and then I'll rewind and we'll talk about this play, because this is actually very good with some minor niggles that I don't quite like. Okay? What you can do with Sombra is you can always get out. Because you've got the translocator up, because we have this nice like 15-second window, we can stealth in, translocate out, always get to safety. The only exception is if we get hooked or if we get blindsided by something and just annihilated by it. But otherwise, we can always get out. And you can see this guy using this to actually a very, very full its fullest ability. Unfortunately, he gets a little bit cut off here, just with the Mei wall and the Mei then coming around the side, but... doesn't matter too much, but you'll notice this is ticking up very fast. So let's talk about these first few like little exploratory pushes, because when we're doing this, we're taking a health pack, we're putting our translocator on it, we're going in. Now, the one thing I'd say is be careful of doing is running up to this guy. When you are Sombra, remember that if you are in proximity to the enemy, they can see you. So if they were a little bit more communicative, I think is how you say that. I'm not sure. Communicative, who cares? You get the idea. If this Roadhog communicated properly with his team, you could say, hey, Sombra's just come in, make it spray around a little bit, you could get caught by that. But we're not looking to kill the Mercy, we're not looking to kill the Lucio, we can't do that. We're looking to build as much of this as possible, then the second that they start looking at us, we are out. This is correct. This is correct because EMP is one of the fastest building ultimates in the game, and it is game-winning when it goes off. Now, the danger with this one is we run in, they get walled off. Naturally, Mei is going to move around this side as well to cut us off here. And we do the right thing. We do a little bit of damage, instantly back out. Instantly. Correct. Our goal is to build this ultimate. Ideally, also our team will be taking damage and going picking up that health pack. Now that we have an opening, we can go up here, we can start disrupting the Soldier. This is where I'm like feeling a little bit cautious, because in a 1 versus 1 fight, the Soldier should be able to win. Luckily, he doesn't quite land a shot, so we actually get a bit of an advantage. If for some reason he stays up here on half hit points, lets us get a kill on him. That's a huge win for us. Let's back out, nice and safe. Again, play safe, play securely. Do not think that you're an assassin in the back line. Do not think that you can win 1 versus 1s. And I really want to highlight this play that he does. It's actually very, very good. Oops. There we go. Turn it up. Got some music playing in the background as well. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, we're out. And he communicates.
Hex. Let's go.
Okay.
In 3, 2, 1, go.
Isn't that good? Isn't that so good? Isn't that so fucking smart? I loved seeing this. I think he's duo-queuing with the Soldier. I don't know, they're both speaking Danish. But this is absolutely the correct thing. we're not too far in the game. We're about 1 minute 15 seconds in. We got an EMP. Now that we have the EMP, we have to change our mentality. So, like a lot of heroes, you know, we have this like cyclical kind of thing with these shifting goals. First goal, build ultimate. Second goal, get in, deploy ultimate as large as possible. Catch as many people as possible. Try and catch the Reinhardt to break his shield. If the Lucio has got sound barrier, then we definitely want to try and catch the sound barrier out. All that kind of stuff. What I want to address now, though, is target priority. Okay? Because this is actually one of the flaws I noticed in this guy's play, is his target priority was a little bit skew-if. So the engage is good. He lets his team know EMP is ready, I'm going to go in. And he even does it with a countdown, uses the translocator to get in now, because it's going to deploy you in a position where the enemy can't stop you. EMP mid-air, catch the barrier, catch the Mei, catch the Lucio. We also think got the Mercy. They've just res, unfortunately, so hey, they're going to have a little bit of a threat. But this opens up Soldier, so opens up our Reinhardt, for example. The one thing I don't like is us drilling into this Reinhardt. You notice that, like, literally... let me try and set the speed. Raise speed. 0.5, because I just want to show you like how bad. Watch Reinhardt's health bar. Do you notice it's not moving? Do you notice it's literally going fucking nowhere, and we've done 0.00 damage to this Reinhardt? Yeah. Armor versus Sombra's machine gun with no other focus target is actually fucking awful. Don't shoot an armored target when you're playing Sombra. We want to be putting pressure on that Mercy. We want to be making sure that that Mercy feels pressured and feels a little bit scared, because we are doing nothing but charging the Resurrect by shooting into that guy. It's not going to do anything for us. And this is sort of one of the things I want to point out with Sombra, is that your damage output is incredibly low against armored targets especially, but in general it's also fairly low. Against unarmored targets you can actually do some pretty good damage. But we have instances here where, for example, we can definitely go onto this Mercy. She's starting to regenerate a bit, picked up the health pack, but we should be able to go and maybe clean her up and just keep the damage going out. Hold on, maybe we can chase her out. No, we're getting caught up here. This is now okay to take this fight, because A, he's hacked, so he can't really do anything to stop us. But B, this sets up a kill for our Reinhardt as well. So our Reinhardt will definitely get this kill. The Mercy also ran out and got killed by the rest of the team. Okay. It's just a little bit of an optimization in the actual team fight itself, where we've got to be prioritizing our targets better. Roadhog, for example, is fine to shoot. Roadhog's absolutely fine to shoot. Reinhardt, not so much. Diva, even, not so much. Unless you're landing reliable headshots. If you're landing headshots, fine. Like, if you're drilling into the head, you will out-DPS any healing going on them. But if you're trying to out-DPS something like a Mercy heal on an armored target when you're not landing headshots, you're going to have a very difficult time. Okay, now we're going to transition into a new area. We're going to be very careful here. I actually don't mind the use of that translocator just to help avoid things, because we're not feeling too pressured at the moment. We also had a nice long fight, and Sombra actually likes it when the fights go long. She loves... Reality, background. Sombra really likes it when a fight goes long, because if you notice, we still have like tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of ultimate charge off the back of this fight. Like EMP, the timer on EMP runs out, and we still have a shitload of ult charge building up. And it transitions nicely into a nice and efficient little snowball. The hacks here, I'm not so sure on hacking that right now. I think it's okay-ish, just to deny him the ultimate, perhaps, but it's just like a really minor thing. And in-combat hacks is something we'll talk about a lot. For example, trying to hack a Soldier 76, we're stopping the rocket and the heal, but even without those tools, Soldier should still be able to beat us, so we want to be very careful when doing that. We definitely want to be careful when pushing in. Like, I don't think, perhaps, that we should have been pushing in without having our translocator down somewhere safe. A lot of teams actually do like to hold this corner over here, so we definitely want to be making sure that our translocator is down and keeping ourselves nice and safe while we take these health packs. We want to take this health pack, and we definitely want to be taking the large health pack around the back. But you notice this first push went incredibly quickly. We didn't have to think about even taking the health packs from the enemy team. We just had to think about building our EMP. They have a Roadhog, he's a punching bag. We want to exploit that. So again, hack this. Okay, good. Deploy that. Get hooked, get killed. Okay, feels bad, man. They're blowing ults. It's honestly fine for us. We're doing okay. Like, they've just used Res. They've just used Earth Shadow. They've just used Blizzard. We're fine. They just killed us just coming out of spawn, so it's not a big deal. It's really not a big problem. And, like, you can see, this is what I mean by this ultimate just being filthy in terms of how fast it builds. Like, this is why you are playing around this when you're playing Sombra. This is why whenever someone asks me, how would you improve Sombra? I say, remove some power from our ultimate, because it builds so incredibly fast. You've got to play around it. You've got to be relying on the ultimate, and you've got to be synergizing well with your team. Now we're in a really solid position. Look, Roadhog just poked himself out. We built the ultimate in a second flat. And again, guy does a very, very good job communicating. All right, let's just go back.
In 3, 2, 1, going.
Catches the entire team. Tac Visor comes out. Earth Shatter comes out. Roadhog goes flying. Easiest team fight of your life. Enemy team cannot do shit to stop us. It's until now, they've just used Sound Barrier, but everyone's already dead. They're already losing the fight. There's no chance. It's just done at this point. That hack doesn't really matter. Like, I'm fine with actually doing that hack because you have other people around you dealing DPS, so you don't really have to worry about dealing damage, and so you can just reliably make sure that you can't put his barrier up or something like that. Now that we have a little bit of an opening, we can go forward, we can start taking territory. Again, be very careful when we're doing this. It's just a very minor optimization, but hey, high-level players might be able to spot. Like, it's about this distance that you can actually get seen by the enemy. You will appear as like a purple, like the purple outliney shimmer. People will be able to see you. People could be able to react to that. Could get some good kills off the back of it, for example. Otherwise, we're now back in sort of ultimate generation. You notice we're already on 50%. Like, this is how fast this ultimate generates. This is why you're playing purely pretty much around this ultimate. That's a really good hack on the Mei. Mei is one of the highest priorities for getting hacks. Other good priorities for hack is going to be a Genji. You really want to be getting Genjis with hack as well. It just makes it very hard for him to chain kills, stuff like that. Using EMP, for example, to counter Dragon Blades is not a bad idea in my mind. Just because he can't dash around, so everyone could just run away from him. Makes it very hard for him to do anything. Again, we're just back in building mode now. Like, we can punish overextensions from the Mei. So Mei's a very good example. Soldier, not so much. Soldier's just not a little bit, not really cut down too much in his efficiency, lose some burst. That Reaper hack we actually didn't need to do. I think we were a bit afraid maybe that he might have an ultimate or something. If he's got ultimate and he presses Q now, our hack gets cancelled, we die anyway. We should just be shooting this. He's Wraith formed in, so you can't Wraith form out. He's just swapped to this hero as well, so he's probably not going to have his ultimate. We don't have to worry too much about that. We could have just been shelling damage into him, maybe kill him a little bit faster. Hacking a Lucio, kind of pointless. Again, we could just be shelling out damage. It might have stopped him from escaping, maybe. But hey, that's a stupid res by their mercy. Definitely don't do that. Now it's a good hack on the Reaper, because as you rightfully say, he can't Wraith. Like, after his Wraith form's down, hacking Reaper is pointless, but we want to cut off those Wraith forms as much as possible so he can't escape. Reaper can take liberties by just running in, Wraith forming back out, so we definitely want to be stopping that as much as possible. This is a wasteful EMP, though. Okay? Let's talk about, like, ultimate economy and ultimate efficiency. There's very few times... no, let's make sure we're phrasing this correctly. There are moments in Overwatch where you do not want to be using ultimates at all. This is one of them. This goes terribly wrong. This doesn't respect the fact that line of sight is kind of important with Sombra. We're going to play this out there and explain this concept. Where you want to use ultimates to gain ground. And the way you gain ground is you get some kills and then you start moving forward. So you can start moving the payload forward and start doing things with that. When you're using ultimates and you don't gain ground, it's kind of a waste because you're not actually getting any tangible big results off it. You're actually expending resources, not gaining any territory. You've got to think of it in terms of like, what are we going to gain off the back of this ult? Where's the advantage coming from? How are we moving forward? How are we actually pushing forward our victory condition, which in this case is moving the payload to the endpoint of the map? Well, when you are literally like coming around the corner from your spawn, if you get into a protracted, long and aggressive fight here, your team will win. Because you respawn so much closer than they respawn, and you'll have reinforcements coming in very quickly. You should just be able to win a fight here. Also, the terrain favors you perhaps a little bit more. Like, the enemy team gets caught in these choke points if they have to retreat a little bit. And you can just play around the payload. You also have the payload, which gives you a healing advantage as well. There's lots of little advantages here to sort of catch stuff out. This is a terrible ultimate, and you know it. Like, I think the guy even says, fuck, when he uses it. Yeah. So, and then we got a boost here as well. This is just like it's a disaster. It's not a $6 million Echo Slam, unfortunately. It's just a disaster. Everything just goes badly. Somehow you still win the fight. That's primarily like, did we need ultimates to win this fight? Well, we used attack visor, but we probably didn't even need attack visor to win the fight. So yeah, guys. PSA: Sombra ult requires line of sight. Because we are face planting into this wall, Reinhardt doesn't even get hacked. Notice the Reinhardt doesn't have any orange swirly. He deploys his barrier instantly. No one gets hacked because we're literally pressing into a wall. Make sure you are aware of line of sight when you're using EMP. I'm fine with actually that hack though. This actually forces the Reinhardt into a really awkward situation, especially as their team's on the retreat right now, fleeing in terror from the Boostio. They're panicking. This forces Reinhardt into a really awkward situation where we're just going to nuzzle him. If you get the hack off, especially with the reduced hack time, it's a lot easier. He has to swing at us. If he swings at us, then he dies. If he doesn't swing at us, then he gets hacked and he dies. So he's got no good choices there. So we kind of force that onto the Reinhardt. We get ourselves a pick. Now we can start gaining ground. But again, we could have done this without these ultimates. Okay. We want to be using this as an opportunity. Okay, let's finish this Roadhog and then try and take a health pack or two. And again, we don't have our retreat option available, and I think we're going to get punished for that if I remember correctly here. Yeah, we're going to get spotted out by the soldier who's just going to rocket us. And again, you can see that in a 1 versus 1 duel, like if you think about it in terms of like, oh, if me and my opponent are equal, in a 1 versus 1 duel, Soldier 76 is going to win. Tracer's probably going to win. Genji's probably going to win. Most heroes are probably going to win. Even Lucio can sometimes fucking beat a Sombra. Not every time, I'd say. I'd say Sombra might have a slight advantage there, but you're really going to have a hard time. But one thing I want to draw your attention to with this moment in particular is actually this number here. 12-player kill streak. And that's not because, you know, we were going around and slaughtering people in the backline. It's because we were staying alive long enough, deploying our EMPs efficiently, and getting a huge amount of value out of every single one that we were putting out there. And it's this playstyle, this mentality of support and being an accessory to getting things done that I think is really important. I think is the biggest misconception in Sombra play right now. I call this the complexity method of playing Sombra because they kind of have been pushing this strategy in professional play for a long time, very rapidly fighting around a health pack that Sombra's hacked, so she builds her ultimate very quickly and sending the Sombra in like she's a little bit like she's doing now, where you put down the translocator, stealthy your way in, shell out some damage. The second they start paying attention to you, you translocate out. But all you're doing is focusing on building that EMP, setting your team up for the team fight. Then when the team fight happens, sure, Sombra's damage isn't great, but it's 5.5 versus 6 if you think of Sombra as like a 0.5. But the enemy team is so disabled, so defenseless. It's so brutal. It's so hard defending when you don't have like abilities available, especially if you're trying to rely on a Reinhardt barrier or anything like that, or if you're like a Mercy who has to rely on an ability to escape, then you don't have the escape option. If they have a Zenyatta, oh my God, you just kill him. Like, Zenyatta just gets completely ruined. Spoiler alert, if you're playing Zenyatta, they have a Sombra, consider swapping, because you're gonna die. Zarya is another good example as well of a hero that just gets completely wrecked. They sound barrier, this is like Christmas for us, because, hey, they lose all of that barrier. So Lucio just ulted. This is such a good opportunity for us. Unfortunately, we lose our Ana, but this, honestly, is still a winning fight for us if we focus our DPS correctly, if Soldier can put the DPS out. Especially with Mercy dying instantly after, we can see Reinhardt as an ultimate. I'm okay-ish with our focus here, and especially because you're calling kill the Rein, kill the Rein, kill the Rein. I am fine with that focus, and I think if the Soldier just had a little bit more focus and help burn down the Reinhardt, this, what's about to happen could have been avoided, because Roadhog pulls in without any ammo, and we could have survived that if the focus was correct and prioritized the Reinhardt. Oh, this poor Roadhog. This poor fat man is just stuck. But yeah, if the DPS focus was just a tiny bit better by the entire team, we could have actually got a huge amount of results there, because we just negated their entire ultimate, plus, like, got a huge amount of bonus there. We just did, like, Sound Barrier puts, is it 500 or 600? I think it's 600 shields on everyone. So we just did 600, probably 600 times 5, let's say, damage. So that's 3,000 damage, plus his barrier. So that's what, 5,000 damage in a single ultimate? That's pretty good. That's pretty fucking good. Unfortunately, we can't win the fight because people just start going down. I think Reaper, maybe got free reign somewhere and just started getting kills. It feels bad, man. Oh, I'm going to have some coffee. My hands are cold as well. It's nice having the warm cup in my hands. Ooh. Okay, like that fight didn't go to plan, but the beauty of Sombra is I don't think we actually used that many ults in that last fight. This is where pressing tab a little bit more as well, just like a general tip for this guy. Pressing tab a little bit more just to be a bit more aware of, you know, the status of your team's ultimates and that kind of thing would be a little bit nice. Just so that we have a clear plan when we are using our EMP. So again, sending it in. We're coming around, looking for damage. Doesn't really matter what we're shooting, we're probably not going to be able to kill it. If we kill it, it's nice. Like, especially if our team starts putting pressure on, we can linger a little bit longer. But you notice the Mercy's healing the Lucio. Mercy plus Lucio healing means we're not doing much damage. Hacking this, I don't think it's going to make any difference at all. I think we should have just been shooting here. Notice he finished on about 20 hit points. We should have probably just been shooting here. The thing with hacking Soldier is this. What we're disabling is, I think Sprint might get disabled. It might, but we're definitely disabling Helix, Rockets, and Biotic Field. Now, Biotic Field's a pain in the ass for us because DPSing through it is always going to be difficult. But honestly, he has to stop shooting to put down the biotic field, so it's buying our team about a second where he's not shelling out damage. That's actually really good for us, because that soldier might not be able to get some kills off the back of it. It's so close. I think if we just didn't hack there, we might have been able to do it. If he rockets us, we're still standing on a health pack, so we might be okay. It's a bit iffy. Like, I'm not keen on hacking soldiers, basically. Other examples of characters that you might not want to be hacking so much. I think Pharah's okay to hack, because the thing with Pharah is you can't take off. If Pharah's near the ground, hacking Pharah is good. If Pharah's high in the air, don't bother hacking her. Is basically my idea with that. Oh, I didn't even notice this. Oh my god, that was... What? Oh god, the hook! The hook! That was hook 1.0, that would have been brutal. But we got attack visor. I imagine because he's communicating with the soldier, he might know that attack visor is available, so hey, we got all these nice resources. This Lucio, holy shit, friendo. This Lucio thinks he's a tank. Can we get some team emotes for this Lucio, please? Because holy shit, what is he doing here? If you're playing Lucio, guys, don't lead the charge in, stay with your tanks. Woo! I don't know why I sang that, but holy shit, don't do that, please. For the love of Christ, you need to stay alive. It's such a high-value target when he dies. Luckily, again, the enemy team's disabled. Hey, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes! Yes! Ah, I love it. Beautiful. Meanwhile, they casually EMP, and even with Lucio dead, everything is just fuckaroonied, because EMP is a really good ability. It's a really, 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 really good ability. Like, you could see, just... They can't do anything. They can't ult to stop us dealing damage. They can't use any defensive cooldowns. We managed to catch pretty much the entire team. Our team could just do whatever they want. They can't stop Soldier coming in just killing everything. It's disturbing. And actually, I really like this hack on the Lucio. One thing I think that is important to do is, after the EMP, we want to find a high priority target, and if you see someone has an ultimate available, don't be afraid to hack them to extend the duration of it so that you're denying them the ability to use this ultimate. It's probably more important on stuff like Mercy, because you can, of course, res. So if you EMP, do a little bit of damage, see that Mercy has the little icon above her head, make sure you hack the Mercy as a follow-up, because the best thing you can do is try and deny her use of her ultimate. You're probably not going to be able to kill her, because Mercy is slender, as well, she's a female in Overwatch, so she's slender, except for in one area. But, I chose my words very carefully there, but if you deny her the use of that ultimate, it's a huge win for your team. So you can definitely do a follow-up hack and keep people pushed out. We don't want to hack this Reaper, for example. We definitely want to maybe consider hacking the Mercy as she comes in, but it's on cooldown, so fine. This Reinhardt... Once the Earth... Okay. The hack went off before the Earth Shadow landed. It's actually really weird that it did. Holy shit, that's strange. Oh, it's because that he dropped his shield for some reason. Okay, I'm fine with that hack. I was just thinking the first time I watched this that it might have been nice to have the hack available. Like, Winston is actually a very, very, very good target to hack as well, because Winston relies on his leap for survivability. D.Va's kind of the same as well. If you can hack a D.Va, it's absolutely incredible. The problem is that you can shell out a lot of AoE damage. With Winston, it's easier just to stay out of range, make sure he's hacked, and if Winston can't jump, he's just dead. He's just a sitting duck. Great hack on the Tracer. If you can hack a Tracer, it's A++, but hey, good job. And you notice that that was actually pretty, like... I mean, we ran out of time in the end, which is a shame, because there was a couple of team fights there that didn't quite go to plan. Lucio was a bit gung-ho at times as well, but hey... It went okay. Like, there was a couple of bad EMPs in there, but generally we got, until the third point, we were just smooth sailing all the way through. And that's because we were landing these EMPs